Hello. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's section of reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, for the tarot version, I'm using the Ghost Tarot by, I always mess up his name, Davide, David Cossey? You can see the spelling. That way if you want to find this deck. There's also the website here on the back, which this camera is giving the clear version of that. For the Oracle cards, Magical Spell cards, I love this deck, by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reish, and down there at the bottom is hayhouse.com if you're interested to check all that out. And last but not least, I use dice too. I use a 22-sided dice, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool, 14-sided dice for the Minor Arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element that's matching up with the Minor Arcana. It's from the dice. They're from the Dice Shop. The website is mathartfun.com. Feel free to check those out if you're interested. That being said, of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Cancer. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Cancer? A lot of earth energy starting right off, which can be a very good thing for Cancer. We have to see how it adds in, of course. I feel like I get too excited. I have to slow down and let the rest of the situation show itself. Get really excited. I'm like, oh, this looks good. I don't really see bad cards here. There's something going on around you. I feel like you're gonna unearth that before it becomes a problem. So you've tried to help before is my first thought. I feel like I've tried to help before. And this is almost like, this might be a cringy analogy. You have a friend or a relative or somebody connected to you, and you know that the person they're dating or married to or whatever is doing things that are unscrupulous, and you kind of help them see that, and then they don't like that, and then all of a sudden it backlashes and you become the enemy. I feel like this might have happened in the past. Something like that, where you tried to help, you did the right thing, and then it just got twisted against you, and it's kind of like, what's the deal? If that's the case, that's the history. That's kind of forming your future. Nothing for you to feel bad about, but it's kind of like, all right, something's going a little wonky here. I don't know if I should be a part of this. I'm trying to be careful with what's going on. You got Justice coming in on the dice with the Four of Swords is like, I'm trying, not the Four of Swords, that's a Four of Fire, Four of Wands. I'm trying to be honorable to this connection, but I'm also remembering all right, I've said things before and been slapped in the face for it, quite frankly. I don't want to be setting myself up like that. And I feel like at first I'm like, I'm going to hold back at first, and I'm going to kind of step back and look and watch. I do think in life it's better for people to see the truth rather than be told the truth. Sometimes, and I've done this myself, where you just kind of make sure things add up and they just see the truth themselves. You just maybe try to navigate it in a way like, oh, look, we showed up here. Oh, look who else is here. Oh, look at that. What are they doing? So that you're not the one really telling them. They're discovering it. You're just making sure they discover it. I don't know if that's going on here yet, but I'm getting that may be an idea to keep in the back of your head. Because I feel like at first it's maybe I'll just hold back and see, because I don't know everything that's going on here, and maybe there's another level here that I don't want to know right now. Maybe they need to figure it out themselves, and I'll just kind of wait and watch. I'm going to wait and watch. And I feel like when you're doing this, it's a really smart move, but it seems like I'm questioning if this is the right thing to do. It feels like it's right. It feels like it's good to me, feeling the energy from this, but you might be like, is this really, like, is this better for me or better for them? Am I really doing what's right here? Even though I think they might not want to hear it, should I be telling them anyway? I feel like there's a little bit of conflict, and it's kind of like I'm not moving forward because I'm not really sure if I should. Um, I don't. Most of the cards I read are right side up, but if they come in upside down and keep them that way, where you're standing, you have the Knight of Swords reversed, kind of like I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing, and I'm not even sure if I should. I'm not saying nothing. People have already slapped me in the face for telling the truth before. I'm not. Nope. Nope. Not doing it. This is kind of a momentary thing at the moment, kind of like, because I feel like I'm still questioning it, and I'm kind of like, again, like I said in the beginning, there might be options where maybe just like making, it's kind of like, sending somebody the video and just letting them watch it themselves, or just sending it from an, I'm not sure that's a good idea, because they'll still know you sent it unless you sent it from an anonymous source. But I'm just saying, there's other ways to do things where you don't have to be. These might be things to consider. I don't know, because I keep getting like, I want to say something, but for right now I'm not going to. A lot of Pentacle energy for you, which I feel like is very healthy and very good for you. Kind of like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna think about this. I don't want to be the scapegoat for this. I don't want that to happen to me. The thing is, what you might not realize is this is going very, very well for you. Okay. I have seen this happen with Cancer before. Cancer does the right thing. Cancer tries to help. And then Cancer becomes like persona non grata, or they become the target. It's not fair. I have seen, like, because Cancer cares, it has very high loyalties and tries to do the right thing. And I just feel like it backlashes against Cancer, and it's not fair. I've seen it a few times. And I'm thinking of a specific people in my life. Like, I've seen this play out. There's a lot of healing for you and for whatever's going on. Do they already know what's going on? Does the Ten of Swords reversed is the release of something, and then the Hermit. Yeah, they might. They might. The Ten of Swords reversed sometimes, like, it reminds me of, I don't know, I'm giving some weird analogies, I know. It's almost like, there's a couple and one person's doing unscrupulous things. We're just going to leave it at that. The other one knows, but it's kind of like, well, it is what it is. Which is their business. Some people are like that. They're just kind of like, yeah, I know the other one's going all over the place doing this, doing that, but it's fine. As long as they come home to me at the end of the night, that's fine. Some people are like that. I'm not saying that's right or wrong or indifferent. It's just is what it is. They might already know. And that might be one of the things. Sometimes people get angry not because somebody tells them the truth, but because they're embarrassed that people know the truth. Keep that in mind. That's a level of this. Whatever the situation is. It may not be that it may not be the fact that you know. Well, it may not be the fact of what it is. It may be the fact that you know. Literally the fact that you know, and they'll be like, well, who else knows? Type thing. Going forward, continuing on, when I say going forward, it always triggers me like we have to be very careful about what happens going forward because things are very slippery. But if we navigate it carefully, we can be okay. Every time that slips out of my mouth, it makes me cringe. You're like, oh, they're warning. Like, this can go well, but we got to step carefully. You don't have to experience the Tower. Things can be okay for you. This is showing up like off to the side of the reading. Somebody else is going to get the Tower. They're going to get it. Is that the Judgment card? Yeah, I think that's the Judgment card. And then it's the Queen of Swords reversed, or the King. Is it the Queen or the King? It's the Queen. That's reversed. All right, so somebody's foolishness. Somebody's foolishness is coming around to bite them on the butt. It's coming around. You don't have to be in the middle of this. And it's kind of like, and I feel like almost cancer, that cancer energy I'm feeling is like, yeah, and I'm not, because I didn't say anything. I didn't say crap. I didn't say nothing. So you can't aim that at me. You can't aim that at me. I didn't say nothing. I don't know nothing. You don't want me to know nothing. I'm not in the middle of this. Um, I don't, even if somebody tries to be like, oh, I know you knew cancer. Why didn't you say something? I would just step right out of it. I wouldn't even answer it. I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Just move away from it. I know that sounds really unscrupulous, but I would just be like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're like somebody might be looking to just vent on somebody. They might be just looking to vent. Be aware of that. If they're trying to snake you in just so they can treat you badly, so they can vent out a lot of negative energy, don't play into that. It's not fair. Just put distance between you and them as long as you can, and just no, we're not. No, you're not here to be the target for anybody. Um, but they're just desserts coming around. The tower comes in, judgment comes in. Might be social judgment, might be community judgment. You know what I mean? That's some type of social standing. And somebody's lies are going to come right to the surface, and there's going to be a lot of people pointing their finger. You don't have to be a part of this. I would recommend just stay out of it. Highly recommend. You don't have to be a part of that. You don't have to deal with that tower. The tower is around you though, but it's reversed, which it kind of tells me when it came in on the dice, like it can stay reversed if you just watch. You don't have to be attacked. You don't have to be bothered. Now, once all is said and done, there's going to be some things here that other people aren't going to like. There's a lot of healing for other people going on here, and they're not going to like certain things. It's kind of like, reminds me of when you get a really nasty burn, and I think it's Sylvadine or something like that. You got to put that in there, take it out. And when I experienced it, it was really painful. It was horrible, but it's very good for the burn. It helps heal better, from what I understand. I'm not medical anything. That's my limited understanding of that. They're not going to like it. I remember I hated it. I didn't like it, but it did serve me long term. It was the best to do. A lot of healing, but it's going to be a lot of painful healing for them. Okay? Just be aware of it. Navigate it as you need to. It's supposed to be painful. Kind of gives me that flavor of the School of Hard Knocks, in the sense of when it's painful, when you learn a painful lesson, you tend not to repeat it. Not saying it's fair. I'm just saying that's kind of how it feels. Because I'm getting like, you seem to more than likely stay on the outside. People kind of mostly keep you on the outside unless somebody wants to target you as a vent. Like they want to vent a lot of negative energy. That's the only exception I can kind of feel there. Just, don't let that happen to you. If you know something's going on, just stay away until the dust settles a little bit so you don't get like attacked emotionally or whatever. Once that's done, I do feel like there's a heavy energy there. It does feel kind of sad. But it's going to build. It's not really a bad thing, they're saying. It's going to kind of look like it's bad. It's going to look like everything's falling apart. Is that the Ten of Swords? It's going to look like the Ten of Swords on the outside. It's not really. What it's basically doing here is it's deconstructing a lot of pieces here that were not right, that did not work. If you think of a house, it's kind of like, okay, the house is gone. But then you realize later there was very faulty wiring there. There was things falling apart. It was infested with this, infested with that. Whatever was going, it needed to come down. So a better one can be rebuilt. So something safe and secure can be built. I'm not saying they're going to like it. I'm not saying they're going to enjoy it. But for the overall energy, it's going to heal the situation. A lot of painful healing. I feel like it's kind of hard to watch, but it's kind of like holding to the side, let it deconstruct the way it needs to. Let it deconstruct the way it needs to. I don't think you have to aid in that at all. But when it starts building back up, this is where your strength comes in. This is where you can build those bonds. This is where you can have that connection. For some of you, you might be reconnecting with somebody who maybe you were distant for a while. For others of you, maybe it's people that you want to be closer with but haven't had the chance to be closer. Because this is where after that, when it's rebuilding, the energy comes back in and you can really help with the rebuilding. When it deconstructs, let it deconstruct how it needs to. I don't feel like I need to be a part of that. I don't feel like you really want to anyway. When it rebuilds, this can bring you tighter into this community, bring you stronger, bring you better. Like people look out for you more. You look out like it's going to be a moment that's really beautiful. For example, if this is a work situation, maybe you've never felt like you really fit or really connected with other people. after this reformation and things start rebuilding, step in, just keep helping rebuilding, helping other people feel better, helping other people as they're, healing, you know what I mean? And the more positive side, not the deconstructing, but the building side, you could get a lot tighter in this situation. And I feel like this is something you want. And then you can start enjoying in the harvests. When I see the harvest card, it reminds me of like a cyclical thing. Like it always won't be a wonderful situation. It just won't. You know how the reality is here. But when things go well, you can be included in things when they go well. You know what I mean? It reminds me of like work situations, family situations. We go through seasons, we go through cycles. It's not always fun, it's not always fun in games. But when it is good, it's good for you to be included and for you to enjoy the harvest as much as everybody else who's loved. Because you are loved too in this situation. I mean, in case that sounded weird. Anything else? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thanks again for watching, and you have a great day.